Hey guys, I've just caught up with Todd Foley this morning at the Holden Nationals. This is his fourth Holden Nationals. Fifth Holden Nationals. Yep. I just want to ask him a couple of quick questions, because Todd's probably not really recognised for the amount of work he puts in for this event, and no one really sees his face. Everyone talks about him and knows the name, but no one really knows the guy. I know the guy quite well. He's a ripper guy, and I just want to ask you a couple of questions, Todd.
Yep, no worries.
What was the motivation behind the first Nationals?
I think it was more just getting everyone together who was kind of like the V8 fraternity, Holden V8. So we decided that, you know what, let's just get a group of mates together and try and run an event. And it actually got really good traction on Facebook when I put a post up and just said, would anyone be interested? And it went from there. Pretty much the inbox was inundated with 50 or 60 people wanting to do it. So then we had contacted with Brad Parker at the time, who was pretty much the owner of Heathcote until that sale fell through, and we started putting all the plans in place, took entries, and then ended up running the very first one with Russell Clark.
Yep. And I remember it was, because I was here at the first one, it was actually the Holden Powered Nationals.
Yep.
And then a lot of the LS guys and me with my small block Chev type Holden would turn up, so you had to cater for those guys. So obviously it turned into the Holden Nationals, yep, being a Holden vehicle. But the best thing about this event is it's open to others, because you have the outlaw style class.
Yep.
So Fords can turn up, and Chevs and all the other style cars. Plus we can get altered. There's an altered here today.
Yep.
There's other types of vehicles. So the other part of that is that everyone's welcome, so everyone gets along, and there's no priority over certain vehicles.
Yep, correct. Yeah, we wanted to make it open for everyone. We didn't just want to make it, just only if you've got a Holden V8 engine that you're only allowed to enter this event. We wanted to open up for, we've got Chev powered Fords, we've got Ford powered Chevs, we've got Nissan powered Holdens, we've got pretty much everything. We didn't want to, just make it too strict and, yep, kind of open up a bit. And I think that's why it's so popular, yep, is that, the Holden guys tend to get behind racing probably more than any other manufacturer. And it's good to get everyone here.
My second question, future plans for the Holden Nationals. What have you got any future plans? Are you going to give me a scoop on something that may be happening in the future?
I'd like to actually do like a West Coast one, a West Coast Holden Nationals over at Perth. So I've got their management's details, and I would like to have a chat to them. And we've got a few mates over in WA, which would make it an easy transition to run an event over there. So that's definitely on the cards.
Oh, great. And what about anywhere else up the eastern seaboard, like Sydney, Brisbane, anywhere like that?
Oh, we could definitely probably do something like that.
Yep.
It's just a little bit logistical nightmare interstate, but definitely something we'll look at for sure.
Fantastic. Mate, I don't want to take any more of your time. Thanks for just giving us that 10 minutes or so of your time. I know you're going to be a busy man today. Good luck with the event. I hope everything runs smoothly. I know I really love coming, and it's like part of coming back to the family. So thanks again, mate, for all your efforts, and for actually putting on the event for us guys to have a great time.
No worries, Scotty. Thanks for having me.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks.
Right. So I'm here now with Clint Noble. Clint's a mate of mine. He's been racing for a while, but he's got himself an altered now. So that's the variety of the Holden Nationals. They do invite other cars, or either invite or accept other cars other than Holdens. Now, Clint, how long have you been racing for, and what got you into racing?
Well, my wife got me into racing because my father-in-law, who we built the first car over there.
Yep.
He used to crew on Russell Simpson's funny car back in the 90s, and so I've been going to the drags with them since I don't know, 91.
Yep.
So a few years. About 5 years ago or 6 years ago, we decided to build a race car. So we built an XD because we found it cheap as a roller, and Kev already had a Clevo and a C10. So we just gave that a bit of a freshen up, put that in the XD, and come in here and had some fun. And then, of course, you get hooked. You want to go faster, so the progression is to go quicker. You get something lighter.
Yep.
So.
And then you sourced the altered. The altered come from Queensland.
Yeah, the altered come from Queensland. Peter Lay had it for sale in Queensland. So I rang Peter and spoke to Peter, and he said, "Yeah, no dramas." So I paid him a deposit, and it took me 3 months to get up there. All this COVID lockdown crap.
Yep.
So the car was turnkey, ready to go. 496 Chev, power glide. So the motor was fresh when we brought it. Transmission's new, rear end had been rebuilt. So it was a bit of a no-brainer.
Yep.
So went up to Queensland and brought this.
And
I had to modify it to fit me. I had to put a new cage on it, so I cut it off down low, replaced the whole cage.
yep.
Had to move the seat back 2 inches. Apart from that, I haven't really done a great deal. Put 4 tyres on it. Recently put a new ignition system in it because it wasn't working efficiently. We've probably done 30 or 40 passes in it up here at Heathcote. I then went to Heathcote, went to Portland last weekend for the streetcar shootout down there to run at a new different track. And a good weekend down there. The car ran alright. Went 570 over the 8th at 115 mile an hour.
Yep.
So I've had it do 571 here at 125 over the 8th. And I sort of done a half full pass and it went 9.7 at 135.
Yeah.
So plan is today to probably first pass I'll go out there and lean on to 1,000 foot and then just make sure it's all right down the bottom end. There's a few bumps down here, so
Yep.
and I've got no suspension,
Yes,
so
absolutely.
I'll hop a bit.
Tyre wall suspension only.
Yeah, tyre wall suspension and sphincter suspension as well. So it, but yeah, so that's the plan today, and hopefully, touch wood,
So
we have a good day.
most of us progress from a street car
Yeah.
to another street car or a sedan bodied style car.
Yeah.
What made you decide on an altered or an open wheel style proper drag style car?
I've always loved Altons from back in the day.
Yep.
I don't know, just one of those things. You wanted to go quicker. I don't like turbo cars, so
Yep.
it was one of those. I don't know, next step, I guess.
So NA, big block Chev, light as anything.
Yeah, it's
You can't
probably-
go much faster unless you throw nitrous at it.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably 700, 750 kilos maybe.
Yep.
So yeah, the natural progression. I think the next step will be tunnel round injection.
Yep.
So that'll be methanol injection. So
All right.
that,
Yep.
that should wake it up.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but now when I first started driving the car, everything was a blur.
Yeah.
Like the Falcon went 11.0 at 125 mile an hour over the quarter. I got into this and it was this 60 foot's at like 125. The Falcon was 60 foot and at like 160s.
Yeah.
So everything was a blur. So it was only recently we're up here testing after we put the ignition system in, and I finally caught up with the car.
Yeah.
So I was seeing things down the track, whereas before everything was a blur. You change gears and it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And when you
now-
say a blur, it's actually a blur of your vision, isn't it?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, it just rattles you for a bit.
Yeah.
And you don't sort of catch up till you get sort of half track and start catching up.
Yep.
Whereas now I'm in front of the car. I'm in front of it.
Yep.
So I'm waiting for gear changes now. Whereas before I was
Yeah. Thinking about lots and lots of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, other than the racing to be here, what's the other the thing you enjoy the most about coming to Heathcote Park and to the Holden Nationals?
Oh, just a group of people, like Scotty's got a street car, runs 10s in a street car. It's a great challenge car. And, another mate over behind us over here, he's got a VL with a small block in it. He's got a couple of street cars as well, but, we're all different. We all run something different, and we all get along. So, it's a big family group. You might not see them for 3 months or 6 months in the track, but you come back and it's like they were here yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what I love about it. So,
Yeah. Very good, Clint. Good luck today. I'll be hoping that you can get down nice and straight and as fast as you can, and we can get it back here at the pits in one piece every time.
Yep, that's the plan.
And we can have a beer tonight and talk about how much fun we had.
Yeah, no drama.
Thanks for the interview, mate.
No worries.
Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Scotty.
Cheers. I'm with Mick Atkins and his little LC Torana. Mick's been he's joined in with our group with our in our camp area. He's been really starting to get on top of this car. The car's running straight. He's done a lot of work to it recently, and I just wanted to do a bit of an interview, so he can explain a bit about the car, why he did the racing, and what he likes about Heathcote. So, Mick, how did you get into drag racing?
One of Dad's good friends built Heathcote Park originally.
Yep.
So I used to come here. Actually, the first race meeting I ever come to was the first meeting of this. So
showing your age there.
Yeah, I think I was about 10 or 11. So that was 67 or 65 or 60 something.
Yep.
So yeah, got in it then. Used to sit at the start line, eat pies, Coke for free because we knew the bloke that owned it, Graham Ryan, which has since passed away. And they were ripper blokes and the family. And yeah, just sort of got hooked. I had a HT I raced 30 years ago, just as a street car. It did a 1206 with a 350. I sold that to build this. This has taken me 20 years. Started it 20 years ago.
Labour of love.
Labour of love. And this is it, unpainted, as it's called, the project. It's not finished.
The project.
So I'm just chipping away.
So
too many other hobbies.
Oh well, yeah, you can never have too many hobbies.
Yeah.
Just the day the hobbies stop is the day you're in the ground. So what's the driveline in it, and what power is it making? What's your best ET?
So I brought it out 2 weeks ago. Before I brought it out, we put a vacuum pump on it, and I put a carby air cleaner on it because there's a lot of dust and shit here, and I didn't want to trash my engine. And I boxed in the carby to the scoop. So first pass last 2 weeks ago, it ran 918 at 186.66, and then the second pass it ran a 914 at 149.51. So that's its PB, 2 PBs in 2 passes.
So you're really getting on top of it now.
Yeah, Jeff Stone helps me tune it and all that because he's the brains.
Yep.
Behind that, I'm still learning, you know.
Yep.
The car's done 36 passes since I finished it, and the first pass was 18th of April last year.
Yep. So we're coming up to 12 months ago. You got in this car for the first time for 20 years and got to run it down a pass, and you've had, what'd you say, 30 passes in it?
I've done 36 now.
36.
First pass that ever made full noise was a 914 to 139 mile an hour.
Yep.
So for a new car, I was wrapped. I didn't think I'd be there for 12 months, but every time it comes out, it gets faster or quicker ET. So, and it's been reliable so far. It's got a 406 cube dark block, 220 AFR, 1000 processed carb, roller cam, competition engines built it. It's got 650 at the flywheel before the vacuum pump. So vacuum pump makes, I don't know, everyone says different, maybe 10 horsepower, and that's a guess. It's got a power glide built by Promatic, 5,900 stall. So I'm leaving at 5.9, changing at 7,200, and crossing the line about 73 roughly. Just flat out looking at it because you're just trying to steer it.
So you really got the thing worked to that 400 metre length, you know, that quarter mile length, that thing, all the peak power is made on your shifts and at the when you hit the finish line.
Yeah, on the dyno it made its best power at 7 grand, so I'm probably wringing its neck a bit, but I've got no choice. It's got 4, 5, 6 gears. It's a 32-inch tyre.
32s, yeah.
So it is what it is. We're still playing with it, with the shockers and that. We're running 8.5 pound in tyres. It seems to be happy there.
Yep.
It takes off dead straight, unless it gets oil on the tyres or something, which I had at 45 degrees a couple of months back. It was just oil under the left tyre and it just steered the car from the diff. And lucky it was at the start line. If it was at the top end, it might have made a bit of a difference, but it actually wrapped the tyre around the rear coilover shock.
Yeah, right.
So I went over and checked it out. It's bruised the tyre, but it hasn't done any damage. Just marked it.
So that would have woken you up a little bit in the driver's seat?
Yeah, it happens pretty quick.
It does,
and
doesn't it?
lucky it was at the start, like it took off. I knew it was wheel spin, it took off straight, and then it just unloaded the left tyre and just ran and went.
Pulled around,
But
yep.
yeah, it feels good and it feels safe, but I respect it because I know it's dangerous.
Yeah. With that much power, you've got to respect them,
Yeah,
don't
and
you?
it's nothing special, like, it's just a...
Well, it is, mate. It's
Well,
yours.
Yeah, it's special for me, but
Yeah.
it's just a normal car. You know, it's full tube and that, it's only a steel car.
Yep.
And I'm not going to worry about painting yet because paint job's pretty dear, you know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make it go any faster.
No, that's right. Unless you paint them red, apparently.
But it gets reaction. People like it as it is. Everyone goes, don't paint it, just
Yeah.
leave it.
It's unique the way it is.
Yeah, it's got a bit of character and it's just, yeah, it's just in undercoat, been tapped up, no bog or nothing, so
Yep.
I'm not going to worry about it yet. I want to get it, I'm nearly at 150, I want to do the 150,
Yep.
and then I'll try and get it to a 9, and then we'll just see what happens.
Yep.
But so far it's been reliable.
Great. Well, that's what we're aiming for a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so you can take it on the weekend, confidently know that you can drive it. You can put it on the trailer in one piece. You're going to
Yep.
consistently do times. You're not putting spanners at them all the time.
No,
So-
like we haven't put a timer light on it for probably 5 meetings.
Yep.
It idles at about 1,000 RPM. Yeah, so it doesn't run hot except if I forget to turn the water pump on, which
Yep.
I did a while back. That's the idiot factor.
Yeah, that's.
But you won't do that again.
Guilty of that myself.
Yeah, so because when you get up there, there's a lot of shit going on, and
People
you
don't
got people lined up
appreciate it.
around you, so you got to get your shit together.
Yep.
So anyway, it's good fun.
Yep. So outside of the racing, what's the most enjoyable thing about coming to Heathcote for the Holden Nationals?
Well, I come here last year as a spectator, and it was really good. So that's the first one I'd been to. So I'm here this weekend, just seeing what happens, jump in the deep end. Probably won't go any good, but at least I'll get 4 qualifiers in today and maybe one tomorrow, and we'll just wing it, just see what happens.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just good atmosphere. It's a bit dusty, but we can't control that.
No.
You know, I don't think anyone could.
We're all in the same boat.
Yeah, everyone's in the same boat. But last night, there was no one played up. Everyone's having a good time, and it was all quiet. You know, a couple of things, music and that. But that's all what's happening. But no one got in any trouble. You know, everyone's sort of on the same page, and everyone loves it. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Great atmosphere, isn't
It
it?
is good atmosphere.
Yeah.
And it's good catching up with other guys. Like I met you yesterday for the first time,
Yep.
and meet other guys. But yeah, it's great fun.
Yeah.
You know, that's why we do it.
Exactly.
Everybody's in the same boat. We're all petrol heads.
Yeah.
So, and everyone helps each other out. You know, oh, have you got this? Or can I borrow that? Whatever, mate. Take it. You know.
We're a family, aren't we?
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yep. All right, Mick, I'd like to wrap that one up. Thanks for taking the time out to have an interview with me. I appreciate that, and we'll see you out on the track, and hopefully everything goes well for the day.
Yeah. Thanks, and good luck to yourself too.
Thank you.
Hope you have a good weekend.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So again, here's another mate of mine who's in camp with us. We all camp together when we get to the track. Matt Robinson, another ripping guy in our group that looks after everyone. Like, he's always in helping out anyone and everyone. And he did it to the point where we went on a trip to Alice Springs to pick up a race car together. That's how much of a good bloke he is. Just to be a bit of company and to actually have a boys' weekend a week away. So just, Matt, want to ask you questions about the car and why you got into racing and what other cars you might have had over the years to get you to that point.
Yeah, well, it probably started pretty early, I suppose. Many years back out at Torana Park when I was a kid. Heard the sound, seen the speed, and was always into mechanical stuff. Later on, I had a little LC Torana, which was my first car, and that went all right, but ended up selling it to do the house thing. Then we did the house thing, and then I was able to pick up another one many years later.
So is the LC sort of budget help with you buying a house for the family, yeah?
Oh, to be honest, we got about $2,000. I think I bought a ride-on lawnmower for it.
Oh, so you should have kept the car.
Absolutely. So then we lived in Wallen, and I used to come up on a Sunday, on a Friday or Saturday afternoon or weekends when there'd be an event here. Seen a mate, Benny Treffel here, in his pretty average old green-looking UC, and seen the way he cleaned up everyone on a nice little event with not the best-looking car, but a very consistent car. And that was, I got me excited that you don't need to spend huge coins to be putting other cars on the trailer. That took a bit of interest, and I built my other Torana as a street car. Got that all sorted, and had some fun with that track here. Was racing that for a while, but something told me that, we hit a wall or whatever in that, I probably wouldn't.
You're risking a really good car.
Never forgive myself.
Yeah.
Especially to my son, who's pretty much been growing up with the car. So decided to buy somewhat a shitter. Hence we bought an old VL Commodore here, which turned out to be a pretty clean old car in the end. It had already had a small block in it, so it was a few more modifications to the way I wanted to go in there, and that's what we got today. And we're having fun. It's great to coming up with the family, especially this event, the Holden Nationals. This is what the people you meet, we're all on the same page. We've got Holdens, and we have to have a great day. So
yeah. So the VL, what's the drive line and what's the ETs? Tell me a bit about, I'll tell the viewers a bit about the consistency of the car, how you built it, because I know you built the whole thing yourself, practically. It was a start, but you've actually set it up to suit you.
Yep. Basically, I wanted to keep it as the Chev. I actually bought an engine from the States, which was actually a little a grudge engine out of a box body Mustang. It was a little nitrous engine. I just figured I'd run it aspirated, which I am now. It's an E85. But the previous way the car had been set up, it had a front mount sump. The engine I bought, to have the front set up, you had to relocate starter motor, relocate the oil, filter system. I couldn't be bothered with that, so when I fitted the engine, I just kept cutting it back until it all fitted in as pretty much a standard small block Chev. So the engine's a 406 small block. PB I've done is a 991 at 136.
NA?
It's all NA and just a pumpy 85. Got a glide in it. 3 9s, just a slick tyre. Look, it's not super fast. It's fast enough for me, more than I ever can handle. Yeah, look, it's been a good thing so far. As like the real Tide bombs, I think, because we're wringing their necks. But,
Nah. So the thing I like about your attitude towards the racing is that you're not trying to be the fastest.
Nah.
You're just trying to have as much fun as you can on the best amount of money, the least amount of money that you can spend.
Yep.
And you've got a great package here. You've made a really good, wise decision to not let the LC go and get knocked about and be on the racetrack and have the potential of writing it off.
Yep.
And the Prem. So that's, to me, a credit to you, and the fact that, I know you very well, so I know a lot of things that most of the viewers don't, but you are actually absolute perfectionist with what you do. you
Just try my
you are
best.
over every little item on not just your own cars, on like even my car. I mean, we know the fuel pump situation, so
But that ended up back at my end anyway, so you laugh about that. We have a laugh about that.
that's
one.
right. So, look, mate, thanks for doing the interview with me. I've been wanting to do this for a while because even though we talk all the time, we talk 2 or 3 times a week, but people out there don't understand the quality of the people that are around the racetrack.
100%.
And this is the whole idea of part of the idea of me doing these videos is to show the quality of the people and the cars and why we do it. Okay, we're not hoons. We're actually good family people with
That's
good
it.
that have got everyone else's health and everyone else's what do you call it at heart. You know what I mean? Like you're always thinking about others.
Well-being.
Yeah.
Just like look today, we've got all our family and friends here. We've got a great little setup here. The kids are here. We'll just be there. This is the leader. Hey boys.
Kids are getting right into it on their iPads.
As you can see.
So that's the camp. That's the trailer.
So look, it's great that we all get away, catch up, race our cars, and go home smiling. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then we can talk about for these things for years to come, just like our Alice Springs trip. Mate,
Yes, what a trip that was.
mate, thanks for doing
That better be on the
interview
video.
again. I'm doing a video on that, so yeah, look out for that video someday soon. We'll do. I've got a good Alice Springs trip video, which is brilliant. But mate, I love you. You're a champion, and thanks for being a great mate.
Thanks, mate.
And
Cheers.
thanks for doing the interview.
Good on you.
Matty Robinson runs a 10.05 at